Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to yet another episode of Founder Stories. I am Priyanka, and every Sunday I bring to you a new founder story with bootstrap founders who are indie hacking their journey from building to growth. Today, with me, I have Ayush Chaturvedi, the co founder of Elephas. Elephas is a personal AI writing assistant for Mac and Apple ecosystem. So, today with Ayush, we are going to explore how we can grow and market our product without building in public and other marketing strategies that you can adopt to for your own product. Also, this episode has been brought to you by Product Logs, a customer feedback management platform where you can easily collect and prioritize feature requests, plan roadmaps, publish change logs, and also conduct in app surveys. So, without any further ado, let me welcome Ayush.
Hey Priyanka, thanks for having me. Very excited. I'm very good and very excited to talk to you today.
Great, great. So, just right off the bat, I wanted to understand. I know you run Elephas and you also run
Mm.
a private community for indie hackers. But what we are really
Yeah,
interested to know and is about how did you start Elephas? How did you start?
yeah,
What is the background? What is the backstory behind Elephas? And
yeah. So for context, for someone who doesn't know, LFS is an AI writing assistant for the Mac. Right. So we have a Mac app and we have an iPhone app and an iPad app. So basically, we're in the Apple ecosystem. Our goal is to build in a layer of AI, right, within that ecosystem. So I really started back in June 2022, where my co-founder, right, Kamban was. So ChatGPT was not around back then, and there was only OpenAI Playground and couple of AI apps were there, mostly web-based, mostly apps for copywriting, right? And Kamban said, "Hey, this is all of this is good, but copywriting is good, but I'm normal regular people don't use AI in their AI for copywriting. Like, there should be other ways to benefit from AI than just copywriting. This is such a powerful technology, right? How can we? So he had the idea of to build a Mac only app, right? He said, okay, every knowledge professional today, most people, many people in the world use a Mac, and what if there was a native solution that could serve them, that where they could have AI wherever they are going, right? Google Docs, Notion, Slack, email, Discord. Within every app, you can have AI. Don't need it. You don't need to go into OpenAI's playground website, right? At the time, yeah, ChatGPT was not there at all. Right. So that's where he started the project. He started getting, like, asking me for help in terms of strategy, marketing, positioning, like how should, in the initial days, what is the right way to do it. And yeah, that's the story. Six months in, we're doing well. Made good revenue. That's when he said, why don't you come on board full time as a co-founder? And I said, yeah, like the group business is actually growing. We have product market fit. So yeah, that's when, like, I joined the company as well.
so how did you
Yeah.
decide? How did you come to know that this is a product for market fit at that point of time? And if you can tell me, when did you guys actually, when was this officially launched and when did you join in?
So officially launched in June 2022, right? And then during the first 6 months, I was only like part-time consultant basically on the outside, and he was running it himself. He was building the product, he was growing it, right? And at the time, he was doing mostly, promotion on Hacker News, on Reddit, on in niche communities where AI conversations were happening, right? And just going there and sharing your product and adding value and different use cases where it can be used. And gradually within 6 months, I would also did a product hunt launch at the time, I remember. And within 6 months or so, I think we were able to reach 2,500, 3,000 MRR.
Wow.
Right, that gave us enough confidence, and during that time he also quit his full-time job to go all in on it, right? I had already quit my job 1 year earlier, and I was trying out a bunch of different things at the time, right? Building different products, info products, service businesses that I'd built at the time. And I was doing this active consulting with multiple founders. So that's when it became clear to both of us that this thing has legs, and he also realized that he'll not be able to continue it long term on his own. He needs help. He needs someone to join him. So that's when that eventually January 2023 I joined in as the co-founder and basically CMO marketer sort of person. And that's how we operate even now.
So you said you
Yeah.
joined him probably in the
Yeah.
later phases, but how did
Yeah.
your background, how did your history in the consulting space really
Yeah.
give you that push to,
No, so I've worked with many early stage startups, mostly funded at the time, right? And some bootstrapped as well, and I was trying out my own things at the time. And my deep learning was that go where your users hang out, right? That is the only thing that matters. Get as many user conversations as possible. For every product, you don't need to burn money on ads. You don't need to build up a social media audience. There are in the initial days, first thousand, first 10 paying customers, first thousand MRR you can get just by being very scrappy and being very innovative or creative, right? That's what like we were both discussing, every week, and we were making strategies and we were making posts on Reddit and Hacker News and Facebook groups, and in different places, and going and promoting LFS. Figuring out what is the right positioning. It is a writing assistant. What all can it do? Where all can it work? Like what all do we write on the landing page? What case studies do we post? So wherever we used to post, we used to post a particular use case around the product, how our customers are using it, and then that would attract more such people, right? Basically, show don't tell, right? That is also one thing that I learned, that don't try to sell something to someone, just show it that how it works. Right? If it is for them, they will come and buy. If it is not for them, then they're not your ideal audience anyways. Right. So all of these things I had learned from after quitting my job as a software engineer. I was, for a year, I was basically just, exploring and trying to figure out this whole like indie business thing. And I realized that there are so many marketing strategies that people can use. Well, actually, people just get hung up on building a social media audience, like a Twitter audience, and building in public and those strategies, which work for certain types of products. But for most products, most SaaS products in general, you don't need a social media audience. There are so many other ways to grow them.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I've
Yeah.
also noticed you're not very vocal about Elephas on Twitter at all, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of misapprehension about in most of the indie hackers that unless you have a good social media audience, especially on Twitter,
Yeah,
doing build in public, you will not be
yeah,
able to make it. So,
yeah, yeah.
like, would you like to throw some light?
No, I know so many people. I've done case studies. I've researched. I've spoken to so many founders, indie founders who are doing so well and who don't have a huge social media audience, and who have not, not did not do build in public, and then they just like to privately work in private and build their business and focus on that. Right. And what I think we're a very small little bubble on Twitter,
Yeah,
right within our indie hacker bubble, where all our goals are also defined by what other people
other people, yeah.
will look at, right? I think we need to push a bit, push a bit back from that, and take a broader outlook of how actual general businesses are run. And there are hundreds and thousands of profitable businesses, which don't rely on an audience, right? And we can just look away from the few 10, 15, 20 businesses within this bubble which have done well with an audience, right? So yeah, initially we did try to promote LFS on our Twitter handles, both me and my co-founder, right? Because that is what we knew, right? That building in public and sharing our updates and expecting that people will come. What actually ended up happening was we got a lot of copycats, right, at the time, because during the initial AI wave, everyone was building like everyone is looking for some gap in the market, some way that they can make some quick money, right? And it became very easy for the moment we share some update. Oh, we did a product hunt launch, we crossed $1,000 MRR, and this is what happened. And then next day we'll find the same product, like a copycat on product hunt, doing the same thing that we are doing, same positioning, same messaging, right, same UI, and So that is what all that we got from building in public, right? And that's where we took a conscious call to not to stop talking about it and say we'll figure out other marketing strategies and we'll actually go to where our people are. Like these are not our people.
Mm-hmm.
Like these hardcore indie developers, we're not building a product for them. Like they can build this product anyways, right? Rather, we should go to people who are not AI savvy, who are not coders, who are not developers, and who still want to taste AI and who still want to use AI in their day-to-day regular work. Right. So we took a conscious call to not talk about it. We haven't shared our revenue in a while. Right. I don't think for a year we've posted an MRR screenshot. Right. Initially we did it a couple of times and we got warm and fuzzy and got many likes and all. Right. But that is all that you get when you post MRR screenshots. Like nothing beyond
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
So
following other people are just posting MRR, and if I don't know, do you know what is the benefit that people get out of, apart from instant gratification of the likes and comments?
yes. Yeah, that is the only benefit, right? And so the people who do it, apart from that, are so there are a few categories which I actually tweeted out and it got a bit controversial a few days ago. Few categories of products and services where it makes sense to build in public and where it makes sense to post your MRR regularly, which is basically if you're selling info products, if you're selling a service business, right?
Services.
If you're doing services, client servicing, then social media likes are very good to build trust in future clients. Right, because they want to look at your this thing. So if you have a copywriting service, if you're a design service, it makes perfect sense to do that. Right. If you're a developer service, the development services, perfect sense. If you're selling ebooks and courses around a particular topic which is related to this, right, then it makes sense. That's why I run a community for indie founders, and that's why whatever building in public I do is basically that, right? I try and share the wins and losses of the community and what I learned building the community. Right. Apart from that, if you're building a social media tool like Tweet Hunter or Hype Fury, then it makes sense. Then you need a social media audience because you're a founder of a social media tool that just gives you instant credibility. So only for these 4 or 5 categories it makes sense. Right. Apart from that, if you're building a general like SaaS product, it really doesn't. You don't really need a Twitter audience, or you don't really need to build in public.
So
Uh,
talk, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and also it's like not every product has to be built in public, or not every
yeah.
product has to be that we need to that caters to the audience of Twitter or
Yes.
social media, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so talking about marketing strategies, what were those strategies? Like you knew that, well, we are not going on building in public on Twitter. We are not
Yeah.
building on social media. Was it just for
Yeah.
Twitter, or was it for other platforms as well?
No, for in general, for all, so just for post, particularly not Twitter, and then we went with Reddit. We really went really hard on Reddit, right? And we realized that there is a huge audience or the huge demand on Reddit for this kind of content of how is AI, changing lives. And then I think we did a bit of Hacker News, we did Product Hunt, and then we started going into niche newsletters, right? So there are AI newsletters, they're just starting out at the time. So we paid well. So we right from the beginning, right? We didn't care about paid versus free marketing, right? It is any way we can get the word out about a product, we do it, right? And it just has to be like it has to make sense, right? So we tried a bit of Google and Facebook ads. That just didn't make sense, right? We were just not getting the right kind of traffic, and that just failed. We burnt a lot of money over there. But we tried sponsoring paid newsletters and that sponsoring niche newsletters, and that did get us good results. So we continue to do that strategy. So this went on for I think first 7-8 months of the product, and then after that, gradually like SEO started to take up, and since then we've really doubled down on SEO as a primary channel of growth.
So, so when you started off, like you said, you really went down hard on Reddit, and I know for a
Yeah,
fact, like I've been also trying to like get the attention of audience on Reddit. How hard do you think is the Reddit audience to appease, and
very
how?
very hard.
Yeah. And what strategies were you planning around, to get your attention, get
Mm,
the audience's
Ye-
attention to your product?
Yeah, so it's very hard. People don't like you when you self-promote. So again, so our philosophy was that you go to Reddit, make a case study, write some good copy where it makes sense. But people see the value of AI, right? We were not selling our product. We were not selling LFS. We were selling how AI can be beneficial to a knowledge workers, to a lawyer, to an accountant, to a teacher, to an academic, right? And how they are using, right? And we pitched it as this is the how our current customers were using the product at the time, right? And then at the end, we just drop a line and say, hey, this, and we make a video about it and upload that video. And then at the end, we'll say that, hey, this is how this is one of our customers is using, and if you want, you can get a 30-day free trial and you get it for yourself. If not, it's okay. Right. And so like obviously we got a lot of hate. We got banned from the ChatGPT subreddit, right? But we did get a lot of attention as well from other subreddits, and we got a lot of initial traction and validation, and those customers have been around now for more than a year now, and they give us solid feedback, right? And they give us like they have shaped the direction of the product, right? Because they are actual users who are in the product every day, testing it out and using it and benefiting from it. So we've basically built the product. After that, I've built it with them.
Absolutely. I mean, the
Yeah,
initial customer feedback is very important. And if you get the right set of customers who are actually using your product and they are giving you
exactly,
constant feedback, it becomes
exactly.
a growth loop in itself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and since you guys are in the AI space, but like you said,
yeah.
like even before ChatGPT came, you guys had already started working on this.
Yes,
How did
yes.
when this entire AI wave come? Did it
Yeah,
give you a
yeah, yeah.
certain boost?
So that was February 2022, right? 2023. And our graph went, literally like our MRR was growing like this, right from June 22 to January 23. And then in February, it suddenly went like this, right? Because everyone churned, everyone just went ahead and started using ChatGPT. So we had a huge bump, like a huge downfall in MRR in February, and then in March it again started to pick up. And then it because so ChatGPT did two things, right? It opened up the market. It educated so many more people about AI, and it told our customers that who wanted to try it out, and they realized that. Okay, this is the nice and fancy thing in a chat box. You're typing something, but this is still not solving the real problems, right? Which is that when they're writing in Google Docs, they want AI right there with them, right? They don't want to switch browsers again and again all the time, right? So they realized that, and then they came back, right? And plus now the market was opened up. So after March and April, everyone knew about ChatGPT, everyone knew AI, everyone was now actually looking for a useful way to use AI,
Yeah.
right? Like actual utility of how can I use AI? Okay, these fancy people are building all of these cool things with AI, and they're doing all of these interesting things with AI. But me as an accountant in a Midwestern American town, what can I do with AI? Right? How
Correct.
can I use AI? Right? So that became our ideal customer. That okay, these are not tech savvy, AI savvy people. How can we make their lives easier with AI? And that's where it started
So is it safe
to
to
grow
say
significantly.
So is it safe to say that your core differentiator became when people started realizing the value or understanding the value of how AI can help
Yeah.
them in their day-to-day work, and
Yes.
not
Yes.
and
Exactly.
probably ChatGPT wrappers will not help them, or just ChatGPT would not.
Yeah, a simple ChatGPT wrapper would probably, if they need a nice UI, it may help them, right? And there's an audience for all types of products. I think even ChatGPT is the most popular product right now today, right? Millions of people use it, right? Probably a billion, I don't know. So it would be wrong to say that ChatGPT is not a problem solver, but there is a small niche market of some people for whom ChatGPT is not optimal, or other AI wrappers are not useful. And for them, we fill a gap in the market. For them, we solve a real problem that they want to pay. And that is all we care about, right? Being bootstrapped, being self-funded, being independent, our goal is not to capture the entire market, right? Our goal is to capture a small niche market and solve like a real problem for a very specific set of people, and go from there,
So
right?
how did you really go about identifying these set of customers? Well, since you were doing Reddit, but getting that, how much time did it take you to first identify these set of customers and then get them onboarded without actually?
So no, it is hit and miss, right? There is no like playbook, or rather no simple way to easy way to do this. We just promoted it, and the people that came in, right, and subscribed, and they started sending us emails and giving us feedback. We created a private community of our users on Discord and started chatting with them every day. And then they were asking us, we were asking them what they needed, how they needed it, and they told us. We did started doing private demos and webinars with our customers, and where I would get on a Zoom call like this, and talk about the product, show them they can use it, how they can benefit, and they would ask for specific features. They would ask for, can you build this? Can this do this? And that would tell me a lot about how they are thinking about AI and how in their business, right?
Mhm,
They've
mhm.
got a business to run, and they have their own set processes and workflows. And now it is about us, that how can we fit into their workflow instead of something like ChatGPT which would want them to adjust their workflow and change their current workflow to get AI. Right. So that is how we discovered it. Right. It is not top down. It is very bottom up. Right. So it is very like customer driven.
Yeah. So when you say it's very customer driven and you guys started researching on, bottom up
Yeah.
approach where you were trying to
Yeah.
adjust your product into their workflow system, trying to understand their requirements, did it ever
Yeah.
happen that you guys got little, confused about which one to prioritize or which not to prioritize?
This happens all the time, and this is happening even now. Right. I think this will keep happening because, again, like like a very big mistake that we've made is that it is still a very horizontal product, right? It is not a vertical product. It is not for one niche, not for one user. Right. There's a small niche of Mac users, that is our only positioning. And beyond that, we've got different user personas using the product for different use cases. Right. So prioritizing them becomes a bit hard, and we get a lot of requests and feature requests that come in every day, and all we're trying to do is figure out that which pain is more, so that there's one philosophy of the product that we abide by, right? That this is what the product should be like. This is how we envision the product to be. So there are certain requests which just don't match up to that, so we don't entertain them. Right, but beyond that, after that, we realized that, okay, if someone has asked for a custom feature, will this make sense for most people, right? And how can they benefit, if more people can benefit from this feature, then we'll build it. Right. So basically two considerations. It has to align with our philosophy of the product. And second, will this benefit a large set of people across our user base?
Yeah. So since you guys are like, can we say that for anybody who is now starting up new, for the first 2 years, you can probably do a hit and trial method of
Yeah.
track, like, serving an entire horizontal space and probably
Yeah.
then niche down to something vertical.
Yeah, that is one playbook if you're really early like us, like really inexperienced like us, right? For a first-time founder, building a horizontal, probably I would say building a vertical product is good if you know the industry very well, right? If I was a lawyer, I would build ChatGPT for lawyers. Right? If I was an architect, I would build ChatGPT for architects. But I'm not. I'm a software engineer, right? So now I cannot build
Yeah.
ChatGPT for software engineers because everyone is building it. So I have to. So like there's a lot of market discovery that has happened in the last 1.5 years, right? And now we are in a position actually where we're thinking of our next product, and we're thinking of it in a very niche vertical B2B product. Right. So like, it's still in the ideation stage, so can't share a lot about it. But yeah, but this is a hard-earned lesson that we've learned, and if someone is as inexperienced as us, then they probably by mistake build a horizontal product, and then learn and go build a vertical one. Or if they're smart, then they will actually directly build a vertical product. But validating demand in that space, in that area, is very hard until
Hard,
you
yeah.
already are part of that scene,
Mhm.
right? Or or you know a lot of people in there.
Yeah, so I mean, even we have experienced this, and a lot of other founders I've seen experiencing this as well. Like they do start with a certain niche, but then they get demands from
Yeah,
across domains, across horizons, and therefore
yeah,
they start getting because I think there's a lack of probably patience or faith. I don't know, or
yeah,
probably yeah, that well, yeah, this niche will actually work out, or this vertical will
yeah,
work out. We should
yeah,
concentrate on this particular vertical. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, this is something that a lot of founders face, specifically in early stages and specifically for first time founders. So probably
yeah,
this is a hard,
totally.
yes, like you said, like it's a hard earned lesson, and probably it will be smoother for
Yeah.
other people who can understand what is their niche, what is their vertical, and target
Mm.
that particular segment itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think this AI wave currently has settled down, or how is
Mm.
Elephas riding on this AI wave?
Yeah, we're continuously riding on it because more and more people are getting educated about it by the entire marketing. This is one of the things that uh, I read in I think Alex Hormoz's book, $100 million offers, that that, or in some other book, maybe, I don't know, but that the market defines your success more than your own ability or the quality of the product, or anything else, right? In a growing market, like everything else, everything will grow. In a shrinking market, everything will shrink. So if you're building a product for newspaper editors, right now newspaper market is shrinking, there's no point in doing that. Right, or rather, you can be the best founder in the world building the best product, but if it is for newspaper editors for shrinking market, it will not work out. But even in an average product, average founder like us can, in a growing market, can grow. So I think we've benefited a lot from the AI wave. Everyone wants to get a taste of AI right now, and we are a good way to do that for almost everybody on the planet, right? That's so that's why I think the more and more people that get educated about AI, the more and more chances we have of basically, the more and more people will end up serving. That's why I think so we'll keep growing, slowly, steadily, gradually, and I think AI is here to stay, and it is probably the biggest wave since the beginning of the internet. Right, in the last 30 years, there have been multiple waves that have happened. The SaaS wave, that happened, the dot-com boom and bust that happened, the NFT wave that happened, the crypto wave, and there was a small no-code wave as well within a very niche audience. But I think AI wave is huge, and it is here to stay for a long time right now. So it is still early days, I would say. You can still build so many things in AI right now that if someone's not building it, they're missing out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
think there was considering those other waves, like no code wave. I think people really benefited out of that also, the no code
yeah.
wave.
Oh,
But
yes.
I think crypto wave was something that really died, like it
Yeah. Some
shot up
very few,
and then
yeah, very few people made a lot of money, but yeah, a lot of people lost a lot of money.
yeah, that really happened with crypto, and
Mm.
then I think Web3 also is another
Yeah.
wave that is coming across. So yeah, what do you think is next for Elephas as of now?
Yeah, so with LFS, we are listening to customers, building more product, doubling down on our marketing, on SEO, on partnerships, with niche influencers, newsletters, and that's there on the growth front. We've grown, right? We've hired two full-time people now, two full-time engineers that work for us, and we have a bunch of freelancers and consultants. So we've gone beyond the initial team of two that we were last year, right? So we don't plan to. We're still looking to hire probably in a few months a few people, but we want to stay a lean team, 4 or 5 people max, and keep growing the product. Whatever learnings that we learn from here, we're trying to build it in our next set of products, and go more vertical, or serve one particular B2B customer really, really well. Right. So that is how we are thinking next, about our future in general.
So
Yeah.
you are a marketing guy, right? Like, so how did
Yeah.
you, how was that entire experience or journey? Like, usually people say that in marketing, there's no A plus B is equals to C. So
Okay.
it's mostly you do something, it works or it doesn't work, and then again you iterate on another experimentation.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
journey right from the beginning till now? Have you found that sweet spot where you can say that yes, I'm doubling down on these efforts, and
Yes. Yes.
how
Yes.
long
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
take you?
Yeah, it's so attribution is hard in marketing, right? Like figuring out exactly where a customer came from, and knowing the journey exactly, that gets complicated sometimes. But in general, you can tell, like, there are signals when something is working, and then you can double down on it. And there are general market trends, and in general, you can look at the industry and your competitors, how they are growing, and what strategies they are using, and then and what strategies have worked in the past, and you can, based on that, you can figure out whether what you're doing is working or not. I think SaaS marketing particularly, like, I don't know in general about marketing. I'm not an educated marketer. I'm a software engineer who is just hacking together, trying to learn marketing, right?
I think every
And
one of us are trying to do that. All indie hackers, all solopreneurs,
Yeah,
just
exactly,
doing it.
right. So I still have that, so like that software engineer analytical mindset of like measuring things, and trying to be data driven in my approach, right? So some influencer will approach me and say that, hey, I have newsletter which has these many subscribers, and this open rate and click rate, these open rates, and I'll charge you so many dollars for mentioning your product. And I said, okay, but how many people did click? They'll share their open rate, they don't share the click rates, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. Even I face
when
that.
I asked them,
Yeah.
and I asked them their click through rates, and then they would share their click through rates, and it will be miserable, because
Mm.
there is just so much fluff in the space right now that people don't real uh, so I would basically double down on the numbers of every channel, right? And I have a huge Excel sheet with all the numbers with a dashboard of everything, right? Our landing page visits, our SEO traffic, our conversion rates, landing page conversion rates, free trials, free trial to paid conversion rates, our churn, right? So I try and take a very data-driven approach to it, and try and figure out which channel is working. In that sense, and also the ROI, right? So we did this burnt a lot of money on Facebook and Google ads initially, and the conversions are horrible, and we just did not make it profitable, and so that's what we stopped doing. But since we started doing SEO, and we started investing in SEO, right? We realized that this is a very sustainable long-term growth channel, which will continue to be around for a while. And so that is one thing that has worked well so far, and we're doubling down on. And also, like, we're also looking at influencer partnerships more and more, but validating the real influence of those influencers, right? Whether their audience really trusts them or not, and then go with that.
Yeah. So has it ever happened that you guys did you tried to go for a marketing strategy and
Yeah.
it did show you results, but then the next time you tried to double down your efforts, it didn't happen? Did any
So
such
this has happened in the newsletter space, and right. So with couple of newsletters, we did got really good results, but after that we got really bad results, right? And there was no way of telling why this will work or not. This happened in the YouTube space. We sponsored YouTuber, and they got us good results. We sponsored another one; it did not get us good results. Right. So it is these areas are, and this happens with SEO every day, right? We publish 2-3 blog posts every
Yeah,
week, and we look at the traffic, and some of the blog posts really take off, some of them don't take off.
yeah.
Right. So there's really no way to be predicted. It's just that how many more shots can you take, right? And without going under, right? How efficiently can you use your money to optimize the number of shots that you can take. Right, the more shots you can take, the more chances you have of getting great results.
Mhm.
So that is all basically what I'm trying to do is run a probability game of spending my money and time wisely, so that I can get the most shots, and one out of 100 will be a home run, which will give us a lot of ROI.
Great, great. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, marketing is something that, which is why I said, remember that it's not something that is very predictable in
Yeah,
all
it's not as
times.
predictable as code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take a small break, and I'll like to
Yeah.
throw some rapid fire questions at you. All right.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure. All right.
And you
Good,
have to
good,
be
good.
quick and you have to be rapid.
Okay. All right, all right.
All
Unless you don't ask my MRR, I'm very happy to answer everything else.
all right, sure, noted. Okay, so I'll start
Yeah,
the rapid fire. Your first question,
yeah.
one thing you dislike about your co-founder.
Oh, he's very what do you say? He gets paranoid very quickly. He gets scared very quickly about things. Like we should learn to chill, right? And that is true for me also sometimes, but more for him.
Yeah. Is
That,
it is
that,
it is
some,
it
some, some,
because
some,
is it because he's the developer? He's the
Probably, right? Like, he'll look at a competitor, or someone will he'll look at a copycat and he'll get worried about it, or he'll look at something in the news, or something, if some customer says something negative, and he'll get very paranoid about it, and right. So yeah, I think that
probably
is
that
something
is
that
why
comes.
it was he really needed you to to take things very slow, calmly, and respond to customer queries. I think that becomes a very
Push.
challenging task.
For sure. Not over time, he's learned very well, and he's developed very well. But and he's doing it really nicely. But yeah, that is something that is a bit annoying about him.
Okay, your next question. Rate your
Yeah.
competitors.
Hmm.
And I'm
Yeah.
putting your name as well. I mean your product's name as well. So it's
Sure. Yeah.
Elephas, Wordplay, Simplified, Tellers, Content Bot.
Yeah. Yes. So Elephas is number one, obviously. Right. And after that, you said content bot, and you said
Tailors, Simplified, Wordplay.
yes. Okay. Wordplay number two, simplified number three, content bot number four, and then number five. Yeah.
Okay, great. So your third question: full-time job or entrepreneurship?
Of course, entrepreneurship. Like there's no point. Like full-time job is modern day slavery. I think Sahil Lavanya tweeted it out a few weeks ago. I when I tweeted it out, I get a lot of hate, right? But yeah, like in 2024, there's so much potential. There's so many opportunities. Yeah, you don't need a full-time job.
Great. One-line elevator pitch about yourself.
About myself.
Yeah.
Very chill and fun and cool to be around, and always will be useful to you in some way or the other. Like I'll figure out what is bothering you, and I'll solve your problems.
Wow, amazing, amazing. I'll come with my problems every time.
Okay.
All right. Remote setup or on-site?
Remote, with people who you trust and experience. On-site with new people who you're just starting to work with.
Okay, good. Your recent favorite book?
My recent favorite was the SaaS Playbook by Rob Walling. That has been a favorite for the last 3 or 4 months now. I'm reading a bunch of others, but yeah, right now I think that takes the cake.
A quote that you can give from your recent favorite book, yeah.
A quote,
or anything, even if it's not in the book, it's fine. Any quote that
I think a quote that always stands out to me is that more startups fail because founders run out of motivation than they run out of money. Right? I think people should stick around, believe in their idea, pivot, right? Or they should not give up entrepreneurship. If they can give up their projects, they can move on. Like don't get attached to your products. But don't give up on entrepreneurship just because 1 or 2 products didn't work out. I think there's huge evidence that that the successful founders have had many failures, right, before they could find success. So stick around, right? Don't you're not never going to run out of money. You're an entrepreneur. You'll figure out how to make money. Right, money will come in, right, but motivation will not last.
Will not learn. Yeah,
So yeah.
and mostly overnight success are actually backed by probably 5 or 6, 7, 10 years of struggle.
Oh yeah. Overnight, there's no such thing as overnight
Yeah.
success. So yeah.
All right. So thoughts on Chat GPT wrappers?
ChatGPT wrappers, excellent businesses to get started. Bootstrap, don't take funding for them. Right, instead build up, go to one vertical, one niche, one customer, and solve one problem for them. Right, build single feature products, right, for a single customer, and then grow from there with that customer. Right, I think ChatGPT is brilliant technology that can solve so many things. It is your job as an entrepreneur is now just to
Find them.
find that one thing that is valuable to someone.
Great, absolutely. So now, if you were a founder of a community platform like Heartbeat that you use, what would be one thing that you would change or improve?
I would give more, more controls to community founders, community creators around how to, measure value being delivered in a community, right? And I don't know what is a good way to do it. Because sometimes I feel that my community is shit, right? Because nobody's talking to each other, and that is why I just shut it down and go home. Right, and then some people get on a call with me and say, hey, this is an amazing community that you've built. I've met so many cool people within it. I found so much value from it, and I'm always on two extreme ends. Because for me as a creator, I have no idea of no way to know that I'm on the right track or not. It is all a guessing game that I'm playing right now. So yeah, I don't know if it can be built into a tool or not. It's a very wide thing also.
Yeah. And in fact, for me personally, I really found your community the best out of all the other communities, even though they were running on much mature platforms like Slack, with having bots to answer their queries, etc. But
I have no bots. I have me only. I am the only bot answering all queries.
Which is what it makes it so personalized, which is what it makes it stand out, I believe. Yeah. So
we're trying to do that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So your last question: a movie that you go back to often?
The Shawshank Redemption. I think that is a movie everyone should watch, and it was actually very emotional for me during when I was quitting my job and starting out on my own. Is that moment? It's very symbolic for me, right? Is that moment of the protagonist spending that much long time in a jail and then eventually crawling through shit, like literal shit, towards the end of the movie, and to escape that hell and then walk out and then taste that freedom, right? Finally taste that freedom in that moment. And that's a legendary scene in that movie where he goes out and he looks up at the sky. It's raining in the night, dark in the night, and he realizes he faces, after decades he feels that freedom. And it was sort of in a way how I felt when I quit my job, right? And I speak to so many people who are looking to quit their job, and they feel that way, that they're they're shackled in a jail right now, and how can they crawl out of it, and you just have to go through shit, is what I say. Right?
You have to go through. Yeah, there's no other way around.
You have to go through shit. Like there is no other way around it. So yeah, I think that's a very symbolic movie. I think everyone should watch it regularly. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the end of the rapid fire questions. But since we are talking about freedom, I just like to understand, with entrepreneurship, do you feel like you have achieved freedom, or do you feel that you're again in a rat race of
Not so it is very internal, right? So it is freedom is it is all about the stories that we tell ourselves, right? Like many
Oh,
people
beautiful line.
find freedom, right? Like many people find freedom in the jobs that they do themselves, right? This is just my perspective that there is no freedom there, or that the corporate jobs are modern day slavery is there is one there's a story that I tell myself, like it is may not be a story that someone else tells themselves, and if you can tell that story to yourself and be happy, good for you, right? So for me, I'm very I feel a lot I feel very free, and basically again Morgan Housel in his book has this line in Psychology of Money. He says that wealth is basically having the freedom to work on what you want at a time and place with the people who you want at a time and place of your choosing. Right? If I can wake up every morning and get excited about what I'm going to work on today, and only work on the things that really matter to me, I think that is freedom, right? And not have unnecessary meetings, right? I have my calendar free, and basically only have meetings where I actually add value and I am interested in being there, right? So in that sense, I'm very free. But I realize that with entrepreneurship, with revenue, as we grow, right, we'll probably hire a few people, and then it'll then become about building the company, building the business, and growing the business. So I don't want to get into that, right? So, but we're not in a state at that stage yet. Where the business is becoming a jail, right, so to speak. Right now, it is still very, very fresh, very new, and very creative, and juices are really flowing. So feel very free. But sometimes the next 5 years, I think we'll get to that stage, and then I'll have to figure out a way to bring myself out of that jail again. So yeah,
Yeah, so
let's see. But I'm
like you said,
prepared for
it's
that.
all about the story that you tell yourself, right? And
Yeah,
that can be
exactly,
at any
exactly.
stage.
Yeah,
Probably
for
when you
sure,
are
for
just
sure, for
starting
sure.
out or when you are already, mature enough. So yeah,
True,
it's about the
true, true, true,
perception and
true, 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 true. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
so just I
Uh,
also wanted to understand, you guys have did a product hunt launch. So
yeah,
how did your first product hunt launch go as compared
yeah.
to the recent product, and what are the learnings that you guys got from your product hunt?
The first one was in, I think, September of 2022, which was very good to get initial exposure and initial this thing. I think we had a good hunter at the time as well. If I remember correctly, Sharath had hunted us. Like my co-founder Kamban had reached out to him, and he had hunted, and that was really cool. And we had a nice 400-500 MRR bump in our MRR at the point. Four five hundred
Do
dollars.
you think that that entire product hunt thing has changed from then till today?
Yes, it has been, yeah, it has been a while, 18 months since then, right? And it's no right now now it has become a game, and it is about your audience and how you can bring in your audience and get upwards, and a lot product is now a lot more people are just trying out and not actually using products, right? Not
Yeah.
actually paying. So it may not be the right kind of place to find your audience, right? But it still has so for two things it will still matter. One is that it gives you exposure to the outside world, right? Where people can a lot more newsletters and publishers and writers will or reporters will know about your product, right? Like the bootstrappers, indie hackers, we don't have a platform like that, right? Where which has so much attention, right? So that is one thing, and the second is the backlinks from product hunt is very useful. It is a 91 dr website, so when you post there you get a backlink, it boosts up your domain profile, and which is good for SEO. So like I think everyone should do it anyways.
So you
uh,
don't have to really, take so much stress about launching on
Yeah,
product.
I don't have to make it a
Yeah.
big thing. Like just quietly. I'm planning to do one for a tiny product where I just do it quietly on Saturday or Sunday and not talk about it and see how many upvotes it gets organically without talking about it. That's an experiment worth running, right, as well, right? Because I'm not expecting to get customers for Product Hunt, right? Only eyeballs and eyeballs of people who I don't know.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah,
Yeah,
no need to stress over it all.
absolutely. So, if I have to just, I usually ask this question: if you were the founder of Product Hunt, what would you change? Because now that you've seen 3 years of its journey,
Yeah. Uh, it is very hard, right? Certain products at that scale that they really because the amount of traffic it gets, because the amount of attention it has, it community products are like that, right? And I think about like about that with my community as well. That when if it grows so big, too big, then the nature of the product will change.
Mm.
Right. So when like earlier, Product Hunt used to be a place to find cool, new, interesting products, right?
Yeah.
But because of that, it got so much attention. Now it has become this stage sort of where you showcase your product and you try and game the system and get more upvotes and hack through stuff. Like people didn't buy upvotes, like people pay for upvote. That's strange, right? But so I don't know how I'll cut the spam, right? I will cut the spam. I'll if I was Product Hunt CEO, I'll figure out a way to cut spam upvotes. I'll figure out a way to build more real engagement on the platform, like build more real community on the platform. I think the conversations there that they happen are also very like if I have a launch coming up next week, then today
Then
I'll go and make a post about it,
post
right?
about
Or
it.
make some post about it, about some random thing, and get some conversation going, just for the sake of it.
And
Right. So
also
I'll
for
probably
winning streaks, I believe they also have
yeah.
every day
There was
streak.
streak system. That's cool, right? But I'll try and get some real community going within it, because I am a part of a bunch of other communities which are built on back of Product Hunt. Like there's so many WhatsApp groups where you can go in and share your Product Hunt link and get upvotes, and basically people are just exchanging upvotes. Right. I don't know if Product Hunt can see that or control that in any way, but if I was there, like I would consider that abuse of the platform. Right. So that is something that I would like to change as well. And probably an unbundled version of Product Hunt, if Product Hunt can unbundle itself and have like a niche indie friendly version, because I see when Sam Altman launches ChatGPT and I launch LFS, both of them are in the same
Yeah.
link. Like what is the point of
Yeah.
this? Right? How
But
can I
still you
compete
got
with
good,
that guy?
really, you ranked really well, right?
Yeah, that
It,
was a different day, but yeah, we were that was an accidental launch that just happened, our second launch, and we still got to number 9, I think, and got 250, 260, 270 upwards, which is good. But like really good, thankful to my Twitter friends for that. Right, but yeah, but right now, product has become a way that whoever has the most Twitter followers will get the most
or
upwards.
probably if you're
Uh,
promoting your product or sponsoring,
yeah,
yeah, that becomes
yeah,
a real
yeah. So
challenge for specifically indie hackers, which was the initial
yes.
vision of the product. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And there are so many cool products which just go unnoticed. So I'd probably come up with a way to rediscover cool products again.
And the,
Right. I think there are teams over there who will be working on this. It is a hard problem to solve at that scale. Right. We are thinking a very small scale because we build very small products, so we think that this should be easy to do. But I'm sure they've got commitments, they've got investors to please.
yeah.
Right. They've got money to make. So how do you even monetize a product platform like product? I think their promoted post charges like $5,000, right? And monetizing attention is very hard right now. So I can imagine how difficult it must be for them right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, this
yeah,
was really interesting, Ayush. I mean, and
yeah,
just as a last question, or just as a last thing
yeah,
that you might want to share with the new and upcoming entrepreneurs, any advice that you want to give in general, who is just starting out probably, or who is just
yeah,
struggling to get their first few customers?
yeah. If you're starting out, right, uh, if you're really brand new, really starting out, right, just put more buy buttons on the internet, right? Like just figure out like make something, build a product, put a buy button under it, launch it, announce it, right? And see what happens, see who buys. Uh, don't go for waitlist and waitlist signups, and don't go for email subscribers. Just go for actual paying customers with every idea that you go with. Right, speak to people, get feedback from them. You learn so much from that, right? Just speaking to people and getting actual feedback from them, that will tell you. So your first, second, third product might not be good, but fifth, sixth, seventh product will eventually, you'll realize when you put your eighth buy button on the internet, you'll realize actually what works, and that will really work out. for you, right? But until and unless you actually put a buy button out there and you expect and you charge for something, you will not get real insights about how sales and marketing happens.
Yeah.
Right? Or even product, right? Even product decisions should be driven by what sells in the market, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Don't build something and try and sell it,
Mm.
right? Try and pre-sell something and then build it if it works for you,
Also,
and then
a
make it work.
big challenge which most indie hackers face is that they think that, well, my product is not launch ready. It's not yet
Yeah,
mature enough to launch. So I believe
yeah.
that you should just do some version, just whatever version you feel.
Yeah, that is just perfectionism. Like,
Yeah,
and like perfectionism is like creative procrastination. That is all. Like you're just being too smart to yourself, and you're telling that, oh, I'll do this when it's perfect. It'll never be perfect, right? No product is ever perfect.
ever,
You're
yeah,
continuously going to make it and keep building it. So might as well build one small version of it and launch it and try and sell it and then build it.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, based on feedback.
That's the wonderful insights, Ayush. It was really amazing
Sure.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank,
Thanks for having me, Priyanka. This is great.
thank you. Thank you so much, Ayush.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Thank you everyone for joining in, tuning in until the end of this episode. Every Sunday, I bring such exciting news stories about founders, about bootstrap founders. So do subscribe if you haven't already and be notified of every time I bring out a new episode. Also, this episode was brought to you by Product Logs. All the links of Elephas and Product Logs are in the description, so go do check it out. And I will see you in my next episode. Bye bye. Take care.